Hey guys, Marcel here from theScore. We have the pleasure to talk to Deilor for the first time. So you guys just played a 5-game series, and the first 2 games were like kind of, you stomped them, and then they came back for game 3 and 4. And then the last series ended in a very anticlimactic way, I would say. You just took down all 3 towers, Anubis, and then finished the game. What was your general take as a coach to watch such a series?
Okay, so going into the series, we know that the HUK has a strong early game. They like basically pushing the lanes, putting their jungler on the side of the AD and taking advantage of it. But then when they hit the mid game, they are not really decisive. Okay, so even though it doesn't sound pretty, we just need to cut losses, wait until the mid game, and we will win team fights. It's basically their weak point is that they're not going to be able to hit mid game, out team fight us, and win the game. So about the 5th game, that it was really anticlimactic. We really knew that this was going to happen. So first, second game, we're able to just hold the losses until there's a point that we're too strong in team fights. We win. A 3rd game, we make a critical mistake too early, and then I think our mid tower goes down at 7 minutes, something like this. If you lose the mid tower at 7 minutes, it's impossible to come back from this because they are going to control both sides and they are going to snowball. 4th game, actually not sure. I don't remember exactly what happened on the 4th game, but basically that was the plan, and the execution was kind of good. 2 games, 3rd, 4th not, 5th was fine.
So talking about this, cutting your losses, stalling, you guys picked Kassadin. Kassadin is kind of a champion where we see him like appear once in a time, and then was it like maybe the plan to just hit like level 60 with Kassadin and then win the game through that? Because the Kassadin kind of made like everything a lot harder in that game, right? So what was like the thought process of just picking that champion?
Okay, so Kassadin just goes really early into the side lane, and if he goes into the side lane, because this team is not that good at creating situations, then it should be fine. But they had Alistar plus Lissandra, that they're actually champions that excel at this, and we lost the mid tower so fast that it was impossible. In a normal circumstance, maybe you will lose mid tower between 12 and 14 minutes, and if you lose it at that time, then you will hit the 25-minute mark, maybe at minus 4k, something like this. You will be able to hold it enough, and then Kassadin will have a solo XP on the side lane from level 6, 7, something like this, and he will be super strong and will be able to reach the teamfight situation. Also, usually you'll be able to be okay versus Lissandra, even if they are rotating mid. So even if they have the pressure on the side lane, it should be fine. And even though, like, yeah, Kassadin is not a popular pick anywhere, it's pretty good versus Azir and it's pretty good versus Lissandra. We know that in Europe these were like 2 strong picks, so that's why we gave it priority, we screwed with it, and we pulled it, yeah.
Okay, so as a coach, you and Prolly are probably a bit like more respected than other coaches in terms of picks and bans. How much do like mind games actually, like coming into this game, how much are mind games like part of the draft? Like, is it important at all, or was the draft like kind of expected? Because right now the meta is stale. But what do you think about like picking and banning like maybe other champions to throw the enemies off?
Okay, so going to the draft, we had 5 red sides, so this should tell them that we have multiple last picks where we are going to counter. So only because of this, it's creating a mind game with the enemy team. Then how we are drafting and how we are banning. So we are removing the Lucian, and we are giving the Kindred every game. And then the game was about Ryze. What's the priority that both teams are giving on Ryze? And also because of the bans, they could do ban supports, ban junglers, ban mid laners. So depending on what they are doing, we should do a different thing. So first game, they decide to ban supports plus Zed. We drafted a team fight, stall team fight, win. Second game, redraft, same stuff. Then 3rd game, what they changed in bans, they open up the supports, they ban the Zed again, they ban the Azir, and I'm missing a ban. What this was. Anyway, they just changed and after changing this, when we go to the 5th game, basically the problem, Maokai was just too big. We made mistakes on the, we made mistakes on the 4th game that we were just going in when we had to pill. We just take away the Trundle and the Maokai, so we're okay. So I think this series was interesting in drafts because like both teams had to adapt and readapt. And we were on the advantage position in the first game. Second game, they decided to do the same, so we just decided to do the same, and then the adaptation starts. So I think it was interesting.
So the season is coming to an end for you guys. historically speaking, like in context, Fnatic made like finals every single time besides this one. But do you think that depending on how the season went for you guys, like very rough start, obviously, but do you think like the team developed nice enough to just be happy and satisfied with the third place?
I think we developed enough to be able to beat G2, but it showed that we didn't. But I think this is more because of how, this is tough to explain, but basically sometimes scrims you're practicing versus X or versus Y, then you go into stage, and then what you've been working on, it doesn't work exactly this way. So the conclusions you reach are not optimal for stage. So in some cases we were fine, in other don't, we didn't, but I think our evolution was, we were good enough to be able to beat them, and we were good enough to be able to win the finals. But this doesn't mean that we were really a cohesive unit and we were a really strong team. I think we were just okay. In the context of having so many issues during the split and having communication issues, shot calling issues, trying many different systems, it was a success in the way that we were able to hit the point that in playoffs we're just good enough to perform. But this is not really what we want. What we would like to be is not only good enough for playoffs, not like pick on play, but continue evolving. So I think we did a good job reaching the point that we were able to perform, but we're not happy in the sense that, okay, we won the third place. Like, it was painful to lose the semi-final and not hit the finals. Like for me, like Fnatic winning the finals is just part of the legacy, and we were not able to accomplish it. So it was pretty painful, but seeing how many problems we had during the season, it's okay.
So I think you were like pretty vocal about you want to build a team that is not for like a split, because many teams build for kind of a split, but you want to build like long term, right? So do you think that going back right now, adding like Spirit and Gamsu to the roster was the right decision, and moving forward to maybe like Worlds, you guys will be at the point where you can reach like the semi-finals, maybe even finals?
I think yes, it was the correct decision. I think both players individually and in a team are strong. Is that one of the main problems that we had was the communication system and the shot calling system. Last year we had Bora, so it was really kind of plug and play. You just put the players and you have a shot caller. But right now we had English issues, shot calling issues, then we have kind of accountability issues. So the players, I think it was the correct decision, and I think going into the long run, we're in a good position. And about if we are going to hit semifinals, right now we are not in a position to say, oh yeah, of course, we're going to be hitting semifinals. We're going to be aiming to be the best possible team for Worlds, but we know that it's going to be really tough and we still need to work it on.
Okay, I think I got everything I needed. Thank you guys so much, and of course, best of luck for the next split. Maybe you guys will reclaim the throne, who knows. And if you guys want to watch more interviews, we have them covered at theScore eSports.com. We also have an app. Make sure to follow our Twitter account, and see you guys next time.